Disclaimer, the following video is a dramatic audio reading of Over the Moon, written by Snoopy7c7. This is the official sequel to Life's a Breeze and takes place 5 years from the original story. The events of Over the Moon follows the Lightverse timeline prior to Season 9's airing. Any continuity error should be accepted as an alternate universe. Enjoy the show!
The clock was ticking. It seemed like time had slowed down. With every second that passed by, Aurora grew more and more weary. The 5 royals sat along a table as they enjoyed their food. Meanwhile, Aurora was fiddling with a napkin deep in thought.
Okay, you have approximately 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 17 seconds till Mom raises the moon and I have to begin my first day of dream duties. That should be enough time for Dad and the King to get through their meeting, so I don't have to pick between Frosty or my mom. I can still enjoy this amazing time with Frosty while staying true to my responsibility. Right? Right?
Her mind raced as Frosty gulped the last of his food. Cleaning his mouth off with a napkin, he let out a satisfied sigh.
Thanks for the meal. It was delicious.
Ever since we went scouting for some new cooks, we've been given quite the new selection.
They started to gather their empty plates and stashed them to the side as Frosty pushed out his chair to get up.
Now that we've eaten, what shall we do for the next few hours?
Light and Mythic exchanged a knowing glance before nodding.
Oh, well, actually, Light and I are gonna head out. We've got plans to see the show that's stopping by in Canterlot.
Mythic said as he guided Light away from the table.
It was good to see you again, Frosty.
It was good to see you too.
Aurora looked at Light and Mythic curiously.
I don't remember any show visiting Canterlot.
Melissa walked away from the two as she headed for the exit as well.
I too have got to make my departure. I've got some reading to catch up on.
All right, Melissa. I'll see you later then.
That's when it clicked with Aurora as she suddenly straightened up.
Wait a minute. I know what they're trying to do. They're gonna leave me alone with...
Well, looks like it's just you and me, Aurora.
Frosty said as he looked at Aurora. Her eyes grew round as she could feel her heart race out of her chest.
I wasn't ready to be on my own yet. What the heck happened to... If it becomes too much, call us. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'm not ready.
Her mind screamed as she blurted out.
Great!
Frosty looked at her with a tilt of his head as she covered her mouth with her wing.
Aurora, you okay? You sound a little off.
Who, me? I'm good. Just need some water.
As Aurora downed an entire cup of water, she let out a huge breath.
See? All better. Sounds as good as new.
Frosty couldn't help but chuckle slightly. She always knew how to make him laugh.
So what do you want to do now?
Quick, think of something cool the two of you can do together in the castle. Do you wanna, I don't know, go to the library? The library? That's the best you could think of? Why would you say the library? That's so lame.
I'd love to! I've always wanted to visit the library here. I hear it's got some really good books.
Yeah, it does.
Getting up from the table, she scurried to the exit to lead the way. The two walked down the long hallway. It was quiet as they hadn't said anything for a few minutes. Aurora nervously looked at Frosty. He had a smile on his face as she went back into her mind.
We haven't said anything in 6 minutes and 29 seconds. He probably thinks I'm weird because I keep stumbling over my words.
That's when she looked past him and out one of the stained glass windows. There was still light outside. Time was ticking away, and it would soon be time for her to go to the dream realm. She let out a sigh as Frosty took notice.
Hey, Aurora? Is something on your mind?
Who, me? No, I just kind of got lost in my own thinking.
I can relate.
You can?
Yeah, I find myself getting lost in thought too. Sometimes I even narrate to myself as if I'm telling a story.
Really?
It's silly, I know.
No, not at all. In fact, I know exactly how you feel. I do it too.
You do?
I especially do it when I'm bringing the stars out for the night.
It's like the perfect setup.
Right?
They both giggled slightly. She smiled back at him before noticing where they were at. They had longed past the entrance of the library.
Oh, we passed the library.
Honestly, it's all right. I'm having a great time with you just talking.
I am too.
They shared a warm look at one another. Walking along the hallway, they soon ended up in the stained glass hallway. Eyes wandering around, they looked at the various depictions of history.
Wow. Canterlot sure likes their history told through murals.
You're telling me. With how much has happened in the last couple decades, they just keep extending the Hall of Mirrors to multiple parts of the castle.
I'd hate to be the one to keep track of them all.
Oh, try playing a scavenger hunt where you have to locate a list of specific mirrors as a history assignment.
The two giggled briefly before looking back at the mirrors. Frosty's eyes sparkled as he spotted a mirror with familiar faces.
Is that Mythic and Light?
Yeah, that one was recently added.
Aurora said, looking at the mirror. It depicted Mythic and Light back to back, as their magic intertwined above them that encased a depiction of shattered hope in their magic.
Do you ever think that you'll get one for yourself?
Me? Oh, I don't know. I was never really into whether I'm on a mirror or not, but who knows? It's like they're giving these things out, am I right?
That's when Frosty's expression changed. Aurora felt the mood change as she looked at him with soft eyes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, you know?
What is?
That.
Aurora looked where he was looking. It was the mirror with Cadence and shining armor. It was a depiction of them defeating Chrysalis. Looking back at Frosty, he continued.
You ever wonder what it was like back then?
Sometimes.
I was born long after the defeat of the previous queen. My dad was a hatchling during those times. He'd tell me stories of how awful it used to be. It wasn't until he was about our age before things changed. It's because of their sacrifices and fighting we can be free now. I've learned about what we used to be, and even though I wasn't there, I can't help but feel bad.
He looked at Aurora.
Do you ever feel bad about something you never even went through? And it's like there's this pressure on you to never turn out like that.
Aurora looked at Frosty. Looking past him, she saw another mirror, the one that depicted the defeat of Nightmare Moon for the first time.
I think I do.
Frosty and Aurora looked at each other before looking back at the mirror in front of them. They both let out a sigh. After a couple of moments of silence, Frosty looked at Aurora.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring down the room.
No, don't apologize. I mean, the good thing about looking back is that it's a reminder to not repeat ourselves, right?
Yeah, Besides, we're the generation that's supposed to bring peace and harmony throughout the land.
We?
Yeah, you, me, Light, and the other royal children.
Oh, yeah, right, that's what you meant.
Hey, let's get out of here. I'm sure there's more to look at while we wait.
Yeah, there is.
Walking out of the Hall of Mirrors, they walked out the doors leading to another hallway.
Do you ever get lost in this place?
There's a map of the castle posted on every floor.
That's when Frosty began to take a whiff of the air. His eyes widened as his wings flung out. Aurora was taken off guard as Frosty hummed a jingle in his chest. When he was done, Aurora stood there awkwardly, unsure of what just happened. Frosty had a goofy smile on his face before he realized Aurora was still there. His cheeks turned red from embarrassment.
Gosh, I can't believe I did that without warning. It must have been so weird.
Weird? No, not at all. I just wasn't expecting that. What made you react that way?
Well, you see, changelings have a very acute sense of smell. There are some smells that are rare to come by, but are loved back at home. And when we found a smell that we really like, we rattle a hum inside of our chest.
Huh, learn something new every day. So, what smell made you react that way?
Frosty took another whiff of the air as he sighed with a smile.
Fresh lavender.
Lavender? Lavender's a rare scent for you guys?
Well, where we live, lavender is hard to come by. It's hard to grow and doesn't keep around for long.
That's funny. My mom lines the hallways with fresh lavender every night before it's time to...
She stopped mid-sentence as her eyes shot open. Frosty looked at her with a confused gaze.
Time for what?
Oh no! What time is it?
I'm not sure.
Frosty started before Aurora raced past him toward the window. Pressing her face against the window, her heart dropped to see the sun beginning to set. The moon was slowly starting to take its place as Aurora pulled back in fear. Frosty came to her side.
Aurora, are you okay?
It's sunset!
I didn't realize it was that late. Guess the meeting is taking longer than expected.
Aurora wasn't listening as her mind was racing.
I didn't think time would go by so fast. Now I have to leave Frosty. Just when things were starting to get good. I can't leave you now, but I don't want to disappoint my mom either. I wish I could do both.
That's when an idea popped into her head.
Are you okay, Aurora?
Never better.
Okay.
Frosty said slowly as Aurora leaned towards him.
Do you want to do something really fun?
Of course.
Come on.
She raced away as Frosty fluttered after her.